welcome all of you, our new faculty, to this LTCC orientation. Whether you're a new full-time faculty member, a part-time faculty member, whether you teach face-to-face, distance education, or in our incarcerated student program, we're just really excited to have you here at LTCC teaching for us. And throughout this entire process, we hope to really give you a virtual representation of what's happening on campus, so that even if you aren't physically here in South Lake Tahoe, which as you can see in the September day is so beautiful and pristine, and we all love just living here and teaching here with our students. We love everything about the South Shore. But if you're not local, if you teach for us a DE, if you teach for us an ISP, we want you to feel connected to our campus. So as much as possible throughout this orientation process, you will see the sights, the sounds. We'll go around campus, we'll take you on tours, we'll introduce you to as many people as possible. We'll try to get into all the nitty-gritty of what it means to teach here at LTCC, even if you're not physically located here in the South Shore. So please take advantage of all this virtual opportunity to connect with all of us on campus. I think you're going to discover here at LTCC that so many people are just willing to go the extra mile to make you feel welcome and to answer questions as you have. So please, when you have questions, reach out to me, reach out to others, and just ask questions, because we have collectively a lot of experience here at the college, and hopefully we can give you some of our insights about the goings-on here at LTCC to make your journey as a new faculty member as seamless as possible here as we go through the orientation program. So just to introduce myself, who I am, my name is Scott Lukas. I have taught for well over 20 years. I think I'm in my 23rd year here in 2019, anthropology and sociology. I hired on in the late 90s, and I've been just so excited teaching here and chairing the departments of sociology and anthropology. I'm still chairing those departments, but I'm not any longer teaching anthropology, sociology. I have so many wonderful anthropology and sociology faculty that teach for me face-to-face, DE, and ISP, and I'm just really fortunate to have all of them, and I've worked very closely with so many of them in terms of helping them in their journey, getting on board, understanding what it means to teach in the two programs. So hopefully I can bring some of those faculty insights to this orientation program so that you can gain a little more from my experience and the experience of others that I've worked with. Before that time, I taught at a liberal arts university in Northwest Indiana called Valparaiso University, also sociology and anthropology. And I've taught as a visiting instructor of American Studies at the Johannes Gutenberg University in Mainz, Germany. So I'll try to bring my experiences to this position, which is the new position called Faculty Chair of Teaching and Learning. And the new position really focuses on a lot of this work, interfacing with all of you, full and part-time instructors, those desirous of gaining more insights about teaching, about pedagogical strategies, about how best to teach DE, ISP, or face-to-face. And I've taught extensively in all of those programs. I was one of the first persons going back to 2004 teaching in our DE program. Back in those days, we didn't have the resources we have today with Trevor Thomas, our coordinator of DE instruction. We didn't have the wonderful Canvas system app, which is, I think, so amazing to help you teach online in a way that I think is really great for our students and also great for you as faculty. I've also been heavily involved with our incarcerated student program with Shane, Tori, Garrett, all the others who work in that office. I've written quite a few packets for our degree in sociology, and it's currently our only degree in our ISP programs. So I'll try to bring as many of those insights as possible to this new role of FCTL, Faculty Chair of Teaching and Learning, which will focus on helping with the onboarding, developing pedagogical seminars and workshops. I've also been heavily involved in editing books on pedagogy, on doing national workshops, on teaching techniques and skills. So it's something I love, and I'm particularly excited about reaching out with all of you and collaborating and developing some opportunities for really dialoguing about what are some of the best approaches, best practices to help our students in our classes, whether it's the face-to-face, ISP, or DE modalities. So one of the things I want to just throw out there initially is that the collaboration, the dialogue that's going to happen, that I want to happen, is just so key really to how I envision workshopping with all of you and developing some of these onboarding approaches that will hopefully make your jobs a little easier than it might be if we didn't have a resource like this. The other thing I wanted to say is that we'll be going through this Canvas site, which is the onboarding site, and also a website that I'm developing that will give you all these resources. You'll find things like typical links that will take you to, say, you want to learn more about the foundation on campus. There'll be a link to our foundation on campus, talking about all that on our website. But then really more this virtual interaction. So what I'll do is I will do interviews with our foundation director, Nancy Harrison, so that you can watch a short video. And what I'm trying to do as a frame for all these interviews I'm doing on campus, and this could be upwards now of, I think we're well over 50 different videos, I'm asking the people doing the interviews to answer the question or to focus specifically on how will this help faculty members. If there's something that relates to faculty like a foundation scholarship that you might want to know about in one of your classes to pass on to your students, that's a very effective opportunity to make that connection with that office on campus or that place on campus, that foundation on campus that allows you to have more insights as a faculty member, particularly if you're not on campus and if you're not able to visit us physically. We can do a lot of this virtually, reaching out to you through video means. The orientation itself, I'll go through these parts, and this is kind of changing over time, but so let me just go through the foundations of this orientation. That way you have a better sense of what's coming up. So the first part of the orientation will focus on a general welcome to this whole program. We'll talk about what the onboarding will look like, and we'll talk about in particular if questions or concerns come up, how you can reach out to me or others on campus if you have some outstanding questions out there. The next section will focus on an introduction to this class per se. It's not an official class, but we will ask you to interact with others in the class, to participate in some discussions, and hopefully to bring some of that again virtually through some of our workshops that we'll be doing, offering on Tuesdays, on Fridays, on other days. What I'll be doing is sending out information to all of you via emails and then also announcements on our website and our Canvas site here about these workshops, when they're happening, and then how you can participate virtually. Typically, I will live cast these either through Facebook or through YouTube, and I'll give you that information. You can participate at home. And we might also look at Skype. We might look at Zoom, other opportunities to do some video conferencing that maybe you could take advantage of. So be on the lookout for that. A very big section of this orientation will be what I'm calling Ltcc 101. So I'll take you all over campus, introduce you to our foundation, introduce you to our advanced office, to our connect office, instruction office, the deans, fellow faculty, and it's an opportunity for you to participate virtually in an onboarding that you could do potentially if you were on campus. And again, I'm very cognizant of the fact that many of you teach for us off-site, and you need to have that opportunity to participate in our campus activities as well. I do a lot of live casting, so some events like our Coyote Kickoff, which happens every September, a graduation in late June. I'll try to live cast some of that as well so you can participate at home and just get a sense of the flavor of what's happening on campus if you're unable to make it to one of these events. If you're in town, I have a couple instructors that teach for us, say in Southern California. They often will fly up and just meet with us, which we love to see you. So if you're ever on campus, send me a message. We can set up a calendar invite, and I would love to meet with you in person. So just let me know if you're happening to be in town one week, and then we can set up an invite and have a conversation. So some additional areas we'll be talking about here. We'll take you through the meta majors and departments on campus. So if you're teaching in the English department or the math department, wherever you're teaching, we can give you some insights about some of the discipline experts in those departments and meta majors to reach out to them. I can connect with you and talk about some very general pedagogical issues or student issues, but I'm not an expert in math, I'm not an expert in English. So I want to give you connections to all those experts on campus, our department chairs and other full and part-time faculty, so that you can meet with them and have some conversations about the nuts and bolts, say, of teaching in your program. We'll talk about some first steps as new faculty to take. So some of the more practical stuff, like if you have concerns about what forms to fill out, if you have concerns about getting a substitute for a class, or how do you get paid, I will try to have as much of that covered virtually. And then as issues come up, we can reach out to me and we can have some conversations about those very practical issues. I'll give you some insights about teaching an LTCC, the basics. So starting from your first day of class, what that's going to look like, how to reach out to others on campus if you have concerns, if you have behavioral issues with students in a class, what are some steps that you can take. I've tried to predict some of these issues just having taught for so many years here at the college, but I can never predict every single issue out there. So as new issues arise, be sure to reach out to me, because that way I can do more programming on my end when I realize that more faculty out there want to have conversations about student behavior in a class, in a DE class. We can do some programming here, live cast that for you, do a video archive of that, and then you have that opportunity to participate virtually, even if you are teaching for us in another state, you're not local here in South Lake Tahoe. So I've designed 3 tracks of this orientation. So face-to-face track, and that track will have its own set of videos and platform that will take you through a lot of the different steps of what it means to be a face-to-face instructor. For example, I'll talk about the basics of teaching in a classroom and things as simple as the arrangement of desks or the whiteboards on the wall, and what to do if you need more dry erase markers. They sound like really nitty gritty issues, but they are actually important issues for those of us teaching in a face-to-face modality. We'll then have the DE track. So that is for faculty like maybe many of you teaching in distance education through our wonderful Canvas platform, our LMS, our learning management system. I will connect you with Trevor Thomas, who is our wonderful director of distance education. If you ever have an issue that is like a technical issue, like, hey, I don't know how to create a quiz in Canvas, or I don't know how to set up a discussion board, interface with Trevor, and I'll have that information for you on our site here. If you have a concern like student behavior, and how to deal with student behavior issues in Canvas, then connect with me, because that's more of a pedagogical approach as opposed to a technology issue, which is more something that Trevor could deal with. And then there's also a track set up for those of you that teach in our ISP program, which is our incarcerated student program. Hopefully you'll have an opportunity, if you are local, to connect with Shane, Tori, Erica, Garrett, and the many other fine staff in our ISP office, which is just located really by the library. If you can find the library, you can find the ISP office. What I've done for the ISP track, because it's so, I don't want to say complicated, but involved in terms of some of the teaching issues, in terms of the mailing of information back and forth between the students and the instructors, I've set up, I think, currently close to 20 different videos for you to check out that goes through everything related to office procedures, to mailing of the grading back and forth between the institutions, Ltcc, you, the instructor, and our students. So there's a lot involved in any one of these tracks. So I really encourage you to watch these videos, because they're really informative and lay out some of the uniqueness of being an ISP instructor here at Ltcc. So for each of those 3 tracks, you can kind of follow along based on how you're teaching for us. Some of you might be teaching in more than one modality. Many of my part-time faculty teach for me in 1, 2, if not 3 different modalities. So if it's appropriate, watch all 3 of those and really gain insights from me and your other faculty here on campus. I'll also have a section on part-time faculty advancement. So those of you interested in becoming a part of our associate program, which allows you career advancement, or salary advancement rather. It allows you to move up the ranks. So to take advantage of those opportunities, not just for salary advancement, but also to be part of a peer review process where you can help evaluate your other faculty on campus. Those are so many opportunities there that develop through part-time faculty advancement. We'll be offering both the ETW, the Excellence in Teaching Workshop, and the Online Excellence Teaching Workshop for you to be able to advance through those steps to become an associate faculty here at Lake Tahoe Community College. So be on the lookout for more information about when those workshops will take place. Again, they also will take place virtually, so you have the same opportunity to advance through the associate level, even if you're not teaching for us and locally here in South Lake Tahoe. The other thing we want to offer in that is opportunities for career advancement. We realize that there are relatively few full-time faculty positions here at the college, less than 40. So not all of you that teach for us, unfortunately, will be able to ever get a job as a full-time faculty member. Just the numbers don't support that. We're not a district that has 2,000 faculty teaching for us. As a result of that, we want to do some workshops on career advancement outside of Ltcc, because so many of us have interviewed for jobs and we have some expertise with job interviews and resumes and doing all that kind of stuff that goes into applying for a full-time job. We want to offer that opportunity to you, so be on the lookout for workshops and videos that hopefully will help you with your own career advancement goals. But that's just, in a nutshell, some of the areas we'll be covering in this online orientation. Again, we want to wish all of you the greatest opportunities here teaching for us, whether you teach full-time or part-time, whether you teach DE face-to-face or part of our ISP program. As always, if any questions come up, feel free to reach out to me and I'll be happy to answer those questions for you. If I don't know the answer to those questions, I will connect you with the folks on campus or the programs on campus that will have those answers. So good luck, and I look forward to working with all of you through our orientation program here at Lake Tahoe Community College.